point in time, Ted.
Okay, Professor Madhav Nallaput, thank you very much for your insight on the issue. We now move over to the Middle East, where a major meeting between US President Donald Trump and Gulf Cooperation Council leaders is underway in Riyadh. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman opened the summit, calling for an end to the war in Gaza and a lasting solution for the Palestinian people. He also stressed the need for diplomatic solutions in Yemen and in Sudan, while praising strong Gulf-US ties. Trump took the next stage, praising the Gulf states for their unity, friendship and rapid progress in the region. He vowed to confront aggression that threatens us all, criticizing the Biden administration for empowering Iran and promising to deal only if Tehran halts terror and support and nuclear ambitions. On Gaza, Trump thanked GCC nations for their role in seeking peace and called for the release of all the Israeli hostages. He also mentioned potential US steps towards normalizing ties with Syria and supporting peace in Lebanon. The summit wrapped up with a message of thanks from the Crown Prince, who hopes to see stronger cooperation going forward. In a related development, US President Donald Trump met Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara in Saudi Arabia, announcing the lifting of all US sanctions on Syria and exploring normalization of ties. The meeting, held during a Gulf summit, included virtual participation by Turkey's President Erdogan. Trump urged Shara to normalize ties with Israel, despite Israeli opposition and concerns over Shara's past ties to al-Qaeda. The move drew praise from Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Trump cited support from Saudi Arabia and Turkey, saying the move offers Syria a chance at greatness. The decision aimed at boosting humanitarian aid, trade and investment. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio will meet his Syrian counterpart this week. Syrian and Lebanese leaders welcome the move as a turning point. Members of both US parties cautiously supported the decision. The UN also praised the move, seeing it as a step towards Syria's recovery. Sanctions had previously isolated Syria financially and politically, placing it among the most heavily restricted nations globally. Listen to what the US president has said on the issue.
The support of leaders in this room, and they're great leaders, you are. We are currently exploring normalizing relations with Syria's new government, as you know, beginning with my meeting with President Ahmed al-Shara and Secretary Rubio's meeting with the Syrian foreign minister in Turkey. After discussing the situation with Crown Prince Mohammed and President Erdogan of Turkey, I am also ordering the cessation of sanctions against Syria to give them a fresh start. It gives them a chance for greatness. The sanctions were really crippling.
Moving on, a major shift in global trade. A new deal between the United States and China has now come into effect, marking a rare moment of calm in a trade war that's rattled markets and supply chains around the world. The agreement, finalized earlier this week in Geneva, slashes most of the heavy tariffs that have defined years of tensions between the world's two largest economies. President Trump is calling it a very, very strong deal. Speaking to Fox News while en route to the Gulf, he said the most exciting part is China opening up its economy to American businesses. Let's listen in to what the US president said.
One of the things I think that could be most exciting for us and also for China is that we're trying to open up China because, as you know, many years ago we opened up the USA. Now it's time for China to open up, and that's part of our deal.
While details remain scarce, the White House says this deal lays out a clear framework and could be a game changer for US companies seeking access to China's massive market. For now, it's a temporary ceasefire, but one that could have lasting impacts on global trade. Moving on once again, the